Here we have a solution to the sensor lab exercise, which we'll cover now. Let's start with the Android manifest. In the Android manifest, we need to declare that the application uses the permission access find location in order to access the mock GPS location for our emulator. We have listed our main activity for the exercise. Let's take a look at the UI for that activity. In the UI for this solution, we have a simple button that will show the last location if it is available. Now let's jump over to the Java code for the main activity and see how the location is monitored. We see that our main activity implements the location listener, so we'll receive the callbacks for location events. We also have a few constants. The first few constants are for accessing shared preferences so that we can save the last location between application sessions. We also have the constants for our minimum time of 20,000 milliseconds and minimum distance of 500 meters for our requesting location updates. We in addition have member objects of a location, mlast location, the shared preferences, mpref location, and location manager, mlocation manager. Now we can see how this is all initialized in our onCreate. In the onCreate for our main activity, we initialize our shared preferences and check if there's any previous data that exists. And if so, we initialize that to our local variable of mlast location. Then we initialize our location manager and set a request for location updates on GPS for the parameters requested in the exercise. Finally, we set an onClick listener for our button to call the toastLast method. Let's take a look at that method now. In our toastLast method, we receive as a parameter a context so that we can post a toast to the system. We also check our mlast location variable that is not null, and then we grab the longitude and latitude from that variable and post it to a toast message with the text last location lat with the latitude for the last location, long, and the longitude for the last location, and show that toast message. Now let's take a look at the location callbacks for our location listener of this activity. We notice that in the onStatusChanged, onProviderEnabled, and onProviderDisabled callbacks, we don't need to implement any code because there are no requirements in this exercise. But in the onLocationChange callback, we set our location, which will save it to the shared preferences as well as request the toast of the last known location. Let's take a look at the code for the setLocation method, which receives two doubles, the first for the latitude and the second for the longitude. In our setLocation method, we check if the last location variable of mLastLocation is null. If so, we initialize it to a new location, and then we set its longitude and latitude. Notice that when we save the values to the shared preferences, we convert them from doubles to strings, since the shared preferences cannot natively store a double value. Okay, now let's run the application and see how the solution runs on the emulator. Since this is not the first run of the application, we'll see that when we press the Show Last Location button, we have a previous last location which is shown, that was saved in our shared preferences. Now, if we look in our Android device monitor, in our view for emulator control, we can add a new location and send that to the device. When the new location is sent, we will see a toast on our emulator because this new location is far enough away to fire off a new location update based on our set parameters. If we then click our Show Last Location button, we can see the location presented again, which has been saved to our shared preferences. Thank you for joining us in this solution to the Sensor Lab exercise.